Imagine a scenario where a group of individuals, fueled by a desire to challenge the outcome of a presidential election, take matters into their own hands and attempt to overturn the results. This is precisely what happened in Michigan, where 15 so-called fake electors were accused of trying to subvert the will of the people and award the state's electoral votes to the losing candidate. But here's where it gets controversial. A judge has just ruled that these individuals will not face a criminal trial, sparking heated debates about the integrity of the electoral process and the rule of law. Judge Kristen D. Simmons, a state district court judge, announced on Tuesday that the cases against the 15 defendants would be dismissed, citing a lack of evidence to prove intent and suggesting that the defendants were simply trying to seek redress after the election. The decision is a significant blow to the efforts of state and federal authorities to hold individuals accountable for their actions, and it raises important questions about the limits of civic engagement and the boundaries of acceptable behavior in the pursuit of political goals. But what does this ruling really mean, and what are its implications for the future of American democracy? To understand the context of this decision, it's essential to delve into the details of the case and the events that led up to it. The 15 defendants, all affiliated with the Michigan Republican Party, were accused of signing paperwork falsely claiming that Donald Trump had won the 2020 presidential election in the state. This was not just a symbolic gesture. The documents were transmitted to the United States Senate and National Archives in an attempt to award the state's electoral votes to Trump, despite the fact that Joe Biden had won the election fair and square. The prosecution, led by Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel, argued that the defendants had engaged in a coordinated effort to overturn the will of the American people and reinstate Trump as president. However, Judge Simmons disagreed, stating that the defendants were not sophisticated enough to understand the electoral process and that their actions were motivated by a sincere belief that the election had been marred by serious irregularities. This distinction is crucial as it highlights the complexities of election law and the challenges of proving intent in cases of alleged fraud. The judge's decision has been met with disappointment and outrage from many quarters, with Nessel calling the ruling disappointing and suggesting that it could have far-reaching consequences for the integrity of the electoral process. The evidence was clear. They lied. They knew they lied. And they tried to steal the votes of millions of Michiganders, Nessel said of the defendants. And if they can get away with this, well, what can they get away with next? The case has also sparked concerns about the role of judges in the electoral process and the potential for intimidation and retaliation. Nessel referred to judges' fear of retaliation and the ongoing intimidation of threats during her opening remarks, although she did not clarify whether she believed this sentiment applied to Judge Simmons' decision. As the debate over this ruling continues to unfold, it's essential to consider the broader implications for American democracy. What does this decision say about the rule of law and the accountability of individuals who seek to subvert the electoral process? And what are the potential consequences for the future of elections in the United States? These are questions that deserve careful consideration and thoughtful discussion. So, we ask you, do you agree with Judge Simmons' decision, or do you think the defendants should have faced a criminal trial? What are the implications of this ruling for the integrity of the electoral process, and how can we ensure that the will of the people is respected and upheld? Share your thoughts and opinions in the comments below.